Hi, thank you all so much. Do you hear me okay? For being here tonight. I spent months working on that film, as you can imagine, just waiting for specific file video alone. And still, every time I watch it, I get the chills. Rosalie is incredible, and I'm so happy that you were all able to hear her story. A very, very special thank you to all of you for coming out tonight. I know how busy your lives are, but by being here, you are ensuring that Holocaust victims' legacies live on. A special thank you to Rabbi Feldman, who I happened to go to Jericho Middle and High School with. Always one of the funniest and smartest kids in class, and it is no surprise at all that you are such an esteemed leader here at the synagogue. Thank you so much to David Friedman for that beautiful introduction. It was actually a complete coincidence that I was asked to speak here at the congregation where my family belongs. And as Ann and I discussed, I have no doubt that my Poppy and Natalia have their arms around each other right now. This is Bashert that I'm here tonight. Also, the Berkowitz family is here tonight. We are all descendants of the esteemed Rabbi Natan Torfstein, which just talked to David, one of the congregants here, another time, and you could hear all about him. My sister Tara, Lauren, there are so many people, some of my best friends, and I am so grateful. There are also people who sent me messages on social media who followed my journey saying that they were coming out tonight, so my heart is full, and I can't thank you for the continued support as I do this work. So I was going to tell you a little bit about my family history, but David helped me out by doing that, so I'll skip that part. But I did mention Natan Torfstein, who was the chief rabbi of his city in Poland called Stanisław, and he was my great-great-grandfather, and he was David's great-grandfather. So to have that beautiful connection is so special to me, and I'm so proud to be his descendant, and I know all of you are, my family that's here today, feel the same way. So I took on this role of researching my family history and becoming a Holocaust storyteller a few years ago. And the film you just watched about Holocaust survivor Rosalie Simon is the most recent one that I completed, and no doubt probably the most powerful one. And it is not only so powerful because she survived Auschwitz and came face to face with Mengele, but it's so powerful in the way that she tells and articulates the story with such poise and strength. She has this determination to keep her family's tragic history alive. And that is exactly what my mission is. I interview Holocaust survivors in person nearly every single week. And I shoot, write, narrate, and edit. I'm a one-woman show, short films, including the one that you just saw. And I do this work because it's personal to me. My maternal grandfather, my Poppy, as David told you a little bit about, died just last December, just shy of his 102nd birthday. My Poppy survived a ghetto and multiple forced labor camps, including approximately 2 years at Auschwitz. His prisoner number, 143499, a permanent reminder of his suffering. Both of his parents and 5 of his siblings were murdered. Keeping his story and the stories of all Holocaust victims alive is my obligation. If I, the grandchild of a Holocaust survivor, is not doing this work, then who is going to do it? I also fully understand that I would not be here today if not for my Poppy's strength and will to survive. So I'm on a mission. I've been creating Holocaust video segments for nearly 15 years now. First in graduate school, then during my time reporting for News 12, and then more recently during my 6 years reporting and filling in at the anchor desk for Fox 5 right here on the Upper East Side. And during my tenure at Fox, I went on my first trip to Poland in 2018, where I had the incredible opportunity to shoot 3 short films on my journey. One of those films, called The Forgotten Camps, won an Emmy Award, and from there, my passion for telling these stories continued to grow. So fast forward, here I am today. I am the first ever storyteller for the Holocaust Memorial and Tolerance Center of Nassau County, which is on Long Island. And it is a position that I created for myself, and it is such an honor to work for this organization. We have an incredible education team that brings survivors and speakers to tens of thousands of students every single year. And it has been so incredible for me getting the chance to meet and hear the firsthand testimonies of Holocaust survivors all across our area. It is so important to remember that not only are we among the last generation of survivors, but we are the last generation to hear their firsthand testimonies. Now, really think about that and let that sink in. All of us in this room, no one else after us, our generation will be the last to hear these firsthand stories. Now, we may be the last to hear them, but we will not be the last ones to tell them. According to a report last year from the Organization Claims Conference, there were 245,000 survivors still living worldwide, with about 14,500 right here in the New York area. Now, these numbers are dwindling by the day, and while the number is very, very low compared to what it used to be, there are still thousands of survivors right here in our area. Go meet them and hear them speak before it is too late. It is our responsibility. This week marks the 86th anniversary of Kristallnacht, the Night of Broken Glass. Beginning on November 9th, 1938, the Nazi Party and Hitler Youth in Germany shattered the windows of about 7,500 Jewish businesses, 200 synagogues were burned, looting ensued, and Jewish homes were ransacked all throughout Germany. On that evening, 91 Jews were killed and about 30,000 Jewish men were arrested. For the most part, German authorities either aided the Nazi Party or they just looked the other way. It is beyond frightening that we can even compare Nazi Germany and the anti-Semitism we were seeing then to what we are seeing today, but we can. We are seeing Jewish hate normalized on social media and right here on the streets of New York, where we have the largest Jewish population outside of Israel. We are seeing rising anti-Semitism on US college campuses, and we are seeing threats to synagogues and other Jewish institutions. There are a lot of similarities to 1938 with authorities, elected officials, and institutions we thought we could trust, often looking the other way. We are left defending ourselves and fighting for our right to exist. A non-Jewish friend interviewed me on a radio show recently, and she asked me, how can we combat this hate? How can we make it go away? If I had the answer to eradicating anti-Semitism, I'd be speaking to a much larger audience tonight. We all know that widespread and violent anti-Semitism has existed for centuries. During some decades, it felt contained, but just beneath the surface, always there, ready to erupt. So the advice I can give you is to change one person's mind. The Jewish community at large is so generous and so warm and so inviting. But so many people who don't know us outside our community often see us as closed off and insular. Let's change their minds one at a time. I've personally been inviting non-Jewish families into my home for Shabbat dinners. Strike up friendly conversation with a stranger when you're wearing your kippah or your Star of David necklace. Invite a non-Jewish friend or even a stranger to come to synagogue with you. I don't have the solution, none of us do, but if together we can educate others by making these small steps, over time, we will get there and we will see the big impact. Just like the breaking of a glass at the Jewish wedding, let's also let the anniversary of Kristallnacht be a reminder of how fragile and precious our lives are, and how so many of our ancestors before us not only sacrificed, but survived. Like my Poppy, like Rosalie Simon, they never gave up. They lived so that all of us could be here today, proud and free. Let us never forget. Thank you.